Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Economics Lab at the University of Cincinnati campus. I am your host, Sunshine, and this is the channel for everything Web3, blockchain, and crypto economics. We engage in conversation, education, and innovation at the academic level. I am excited to start our monthly series, Women in Crypto, Blockchain, and Web3. Today, I'm going to be joined by Wendy O, and we are going to talk about financial literacy and how women play a role in the future of digital finance. If you have been a fan of Wendy or just first meeting her, I think that you are going to find this interview absolutely fascinating. By the way, if you are new to this channel, be sure to follow us and give us a thumbs up if you like our content. We have some amazing guests coming your way. Let's transition over to this week's interview to Wendy O. Innovation Interview focuses on students and scholars who are making a great impact on cryptocurrency and blockchain and Web3 adoption.
Saw all these cartoon characters posting charts. I was like, I can learn how to do this. So I taught myself how to trade, and
This has to do a lot with technology actually not working for people.
Wendy is a female entrepreneur, visionary, and educator. She is one of the largest female presences in cryptocurrency and the founder of Crypto Wendy O Media. She's a blockchain host and of the O Show and also provides market media for companies. She has used her experience in investing and trading to help educate others with social media, hosting in-person meetups, and public events. So Wendy, I have a confession. I've been following you the last probably 2 years on social media, but after researching you for this interview, I have a new appreciation for you, absolutely, because you have accomplished so much in such a really short period of time. And what I love about you is your story and your struggle, and you use your struggle to give back. And you're genuine, you give back, and you want to help others by teaching and constantly learning yourself. So I can relate to that. I think other people can relate to that as well. So thank you for that. I love that also that a lot of your stuff is free. And I love that you started your free meetups and that you're still doing today. My first question is, when are you coming to Cincinnati?
I'm not sure yet. It depends. Isn't it really cold there?
Yeah, but well, it's getting warm, so it will be warm before you know it. So we would
Okay.
really like you to come to Cincinnati.
I'll consider it. Maybe when there's a conference, I'll get down there. But I appreciate you being you supporting me and rocking with me. It means a lot. It's been a heck of a journey, and creating content is not the easiest thing. Even though people see it and they're like, "Oh my God, you just get in front of a camera and talk." It's not the easiest thing ever. So I
Absolutely.
really appreciate you guys having me on, and I'm more than happy to talk to you and answer any of your questions.
Absolutely. So Wendy, tell me something about yourself that most people don't know.
Oh, I'm pretty, I'm pretty open about myself, who I am, and different
Mhm.
things about my life. So I don't really have a lot to hide. And I'm kind of like an open book.
Yeah.
Like what you see on social media is what you get. Um, Only thing I do keep private is my daughter. I always keep her face covered. But other
Yes,
than that,
absolutely.
I don't have any juicy details for you.
So what kind of hobbies do you do when you're not posting content, when you're not investing in trading? Is there anything that you love to do?
I like going to the beach. I like to eat. I like to try different foods, and I like to travel. I haven't been able to really travel outside of the U.S. I know that kind of sounds crazy because I work in crypto, but I am a mom, so I do make sure to that all of my work and everything I do is kind of surrounded around her schedule. But I do love to travel. I love to eat, and really, I love to be around bodies of water. That's probably one of my favorite things.
I agree. I agree. I'm a boater, so I'm with you with the water. So, well, I really wanted to focus on women this month and take a really a deep dive into our financial literacy, how we invest, how we learn, and how to even the playing field and gender equality. So this is an open discussion to show how much value we bring into this space and encourage other women to consider how important it is to just really have a voice. Many believe that cryptocurrency is the future of finance and an opportunity to maybe have some financial freedom. I'm curious, Wendy, how you found your voice, your courage, your passion, and what you do. And can you remember a time that you had kind of that aha moment or a time that you reflect back on in your past?
So as far as creating crypto content, it wasn't something that I decided I was going to do, that I was like, okay, I'm going to quit my job in healthcare that I've had forever to become a content creator. It was just kind of something that I fell into because when I was in crypto, I started investing end of 2017, and I I got on crypto Twitter because a family friend was like, "Hey, you should get on here and talk and, learn more about crypto." I was like, "Okay, fine." I wasn't really a big social media person. And then, I saw these cartoon characters posting charts. I was like, "I can learn how to do this." So I taught myself how to trade. Then I kind of started with the meetups, and the YouTube channel started because of the meetups because I wanted to show my global audience um, you know, just how things worked and just, I don't know, just I wanted everybody to be included because I'm a big advocate for not judging people on their appearance, but or their background, but really just who they are as a person. Because a lot of times people are born into really terrible situations or born into things that they don't have control over. So I think it's important to, to kind of focus on that. So that's how the YouTube channel started, and then I just started getting opportunities because I was, posting the meetups there, and I was also posting my trading stuff there. So I got a lot of great opportunities, partially because I was a woman and there wasn't very few of us there with our faces out there, and that was pretty awesome. And just kind of took off from there, and I just continued to build my business around it.
That's amazing. Do you remember your meetups, like how they started? Was it just a few people and then a few people
Yeah.
here and then they just kind of crept up?
Yeah, so what happened was I was like, I need to host meetups because what would happen in crypto back then, not today, is that we would have all of these events and you would go there and you'd have to pay thousands of dollars to get into the conferences. And I was like, I can't network
Mhm.
this way. I don't have any money to network. And at the time I was in college, I was at a public college and they hated crypto, absolutely hated it. So I love that you guys have a crypto economics lab and you guys have this because I actually got thrown out of the finance club in college because I was talking about Bitcoin. They're like, we don't want you,
Oh,
you have
wow.
to go. And I was like, this is ridiculous. We're talking about finance. And sure enough, Bitcoin is on Bloomberg Terminal and all those things. So whatever. But I wanted to create a really great networking environment and I wanted to make it free because I don't think that there should be any barriers to entry. And then I started
Love it.
monetizing those a little bit later. I didn't really make money off of it. I just had the companies pay for like food and beverages and the rental places for my audience. Um, but I just thought it was really important to bring all people together because there shouldn't be any barriers to entry when you're learning about something. Education should be free to some aspect. Like obviously the educators deserve to be compensated, but you shouldn't be charging people thousands of dollars to go into a room with a bunch of accredited investors and people shilling their ICOs and whatnot. Shouldn't have to pay for that or pay that amount. Of course, like I get there's a fee to, rent the venues and those types of things out, but I don't know. I feel like Bitcoin was created for everybody, is created for the people by the people. So there shouldn't be too many barriers to entry as far as networking goes.
Well, that's amazing for you to be very generous with your time. So we appreciate you and your time and everything that you've contributed. Um, so Wendy, I wanted to talk to you about some study results about finances in comparison to men and women and get your thoughts on that. So multiple studies have shown that women are lagging behind men in investing, including that women are not as confident as men in their investing. The abilities, they demonstrate lower levels of investing knowledge. Women are 80% more likely than men to be in poverty after the age of 65. And women's investments accounts and balances are below men by up to 44%. And last, in reflecting back and investing in cryptocurrency, about 26% of women in the US um, account for cryptocurrency owning and versus 74% of men. So I'm sure these numbers are probably not surprising to you, but when you see kind of this gender gap, do you believe this to be a problem? And what barriers do you think cause this? Also, I'm curious if you think that crypto and digital assets is an opportunity or a bridge for women to have more control of their finances.
Yeah, so I mean, this I don't really like the whole gender, like the battle of the sexes thing because I feel that it really does separate us even more. Like there's obvious differences between men and women that do matter and are important to talk about. But if you really want to break it down and you want to talk about why there's a big gap like this, is you have to look at the way society was when you're talking about people who are 65 and over. The reason why there's a lot of women that have nothing to show for it is because women are homemakers for a long time, which is fine. It's okay to be a homemaker. I don't want anybody listening to this to get discouraged from that. But at the same time, they weren't able to be in charge of the finances. Men were the breadwinners. They brought money home, and women did have minimal access to it. So, in today's day and age, divorce rates are high. Things are a lot different than they were in the past. So, it is important for women to make sure that, like, if you're going to get married, have a prenup, different things like that to kind of protect yourself. But I think part of the reason why women are generally invest or interested in crypto or investing is maybe they weren't brought up that way. I was brought up, I grew up very, very poor. My dad did work in traditional finance, but he died when I was 11 and he got sick when I was 7. So anything that he learned or that he did in work, I didn't know about any way, shape, or form because when he got sick when I was 7, so he wasn't really around at all, or he wasn't there present. Um, so it's just the way that we're kind of brought up. Well, a lot of times women aren't brought up. We don't really talk about money. We don't talk about, the STEM industries, and that's kind of a societal issue with America in general. But things are changing, which is good. And I think it's important for people, like women's minds work differently than men. Like I'm not a really big tech person, but I'm interested in money. And it's okay. Like it's okay to take different aspects of crypto that you like, that make you excited. So don't get discouraged with it. And just because you hear the statistics, like there's not a whole lot of women there or whatnot, if it's something you're interested in, go after and go get it. I like to use the rule of taking 10 minutes to practice self-education, whether that be, I used to be, when I first got into crypto, I was still nursing my daughter. I exclusively breastfed her up until 1 year. No formula there. No shame to anybody who's not breastfeeding. That's not what this is about. But my point was, is like while I was nursing or while I was, pumping, I would take 10 minutes on my lunch breaks at work and like read about Bitcoin, read about blockchain. And I think that if you do want something, you just have to go ahead and pay attention to it and devote time. And if you're not devoting time to it, the only person that you can blame is yourself. And if it's something you're not interested in, you don't have to be interested in it. There shouldn't be a push to force women to get involved or get excited about something. But at the same time, if it's something that interests you, go ahead and get after it and, start the self-education process. And the beautiful thing about Bitcoin, crypto, and NFTs is there's no gender barriers. Like if you want to get in the space, you totally can. You can practice self-education. I think that's a disservice that American society does, is teaches us, oh, you're not a cutout for this X, Y, and Z. And they don't really give you a reason behind it. They're just kind of, you're a woman, you don't belong here, which that's not the case. It's 2023. People have got access to cell phones, computers, self-educate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So for our listeners that want to get started investing, you kind of just talked a little bit about where to get started. You said 10 minutes every night, just read a little tidbits here. Is there any other things that you remember when you got started that really helped you, that you wish someone would have told you, like, do this?
Well, I'm not the most tech savvy person. So a lot of this stuff is it's complex for me. It's hard. But what I will say is that, Investopedia.com is 100% free, and it's a really great website for anybody who's interested in learning about the basics of finance, like how money works. I also recommend you take a look at the Bitcoin white paper and you read that. The reason why is that's the reason why we have Ethereum and crypto and NFTs and stable coins and all of these different things is from Bitcoin. And then also research what happened back in 2008 and how terrible the housing crisis was. And part of it was due, yes, to the government being irresponsible, to the public servants being irresponsible, to the types of loans that they were pushing on people. But a lot of people were not able to actually manage their money or understand what debt was, is because we're not taught about that in public school. Go back and educate yourself on that. Learn about debt, learn about the history of money, and learn about a lot of these products that are being pitched to you in banks. I don't know about you, but every time when I was in community college, every time I'd go into the counselor's office, they're like, when are you going to go to university? I was like, it took me like 7 years to transfer over to university, or 5 years, because I didn't want to take a student loan out. No shame to anybody who's taken a student loan out. That's your business. That, do what works for you. But they just kept pushing these student loans, and then they were pushing credit cards. And if you go into a bank, they push all these different types of loans, but they don't really explain to us what that means. And we don't learn about that in school. And that causes a lot of the problems that we have in America. It's a wealth gap, and it's due to lack of education. Part of it is what happens at home. Part of it is on us. And the other part is on our public schools, because you're forced to go to a public school as a requirement of the law. So I highly recommend you start to learn about money, and that not all debt is good debt. People will say, okay, if you want to make it big, you want to become a millionaire, you have to take out debt, you have to take out risk. If you're going to do that, make sure you understand what that risk looks like. And it might not make sense for you to do so.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I don't remember ever taking a financial class when I was younger. I
Right.
think we took a whole class on how to write a check. That's the only thing that I can remember that we
And
took.
checks are not here anymore.
Right, right. So I think it would have been very invaluable if we would have had a financial class and talked about financial aid and debt and everything. So maybe that's something that's coming in the future, and we can change our children of America.
Yeah, I do think that in the United States, I think, or excuse me, in California, I think it was Ian Calderon. He was a former, oh my God, I had him on my show before. I forgot exactly what he did in California, but I think he was a lawmaker. But he started to introduce that ideology here, which I think is fantastic. But at the same time, it's like, why didn't we start doing that before? It's a
Yeah,
little bit important
absolutely.
to. Yeah, I mean, so, but I, again, it kind of goes back to the banks. They don't want people to win. They don't want people to have a better quality of life. They don't want people to learn about money and to learn about the history of money and learn about the predatory practices of banks. Because if they're teaching you how the banks work and how banks make their money, then they're not going to be able to, people, when they go into the bank, they're going to continue to take out these high risky, credit cards and whatnot and get into debt. So it kind of all goes alongside that, in my opinion. And I hope that we can just get to a place where we can treat our people better, and especially, the folks that are underserved.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of my favorite investing tips of yours is the moon bag strategy. And I know we don't have
Mhm.
a lot of time. So, can you just describe moon bag to our listeners in just a couple minutes? Because I think it's a lot of good information and I know I have used it.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, moon bags. Okay, I know it sounds kind of funny. I promise it's not. So, you've done your due diligence. You've got your disposable income. You've decided I am ready to make an investment. And you think that the market is going to go up, so you decide to buy Bitcoin or investment, stock XYZ at particular price. Before you do that, you have a trading or investing plan. So in a trading or investing plan, I don't tell people exactly how to do these because you need to modify them according to your needs. How much disposable income? How long do you want to hold the project? Did you research it? Did you research the team's founders? Do you understand the risks of this? What market are we in? Are we in a bull market or are we in a bear market? And you want to indicate all these things. And then once you've done that, you feel comfortable, you understand the risks, you've written down the pros and the cons, whether it's a long-term investment or a trade, however that is, then you take your disposable income and you invest. Then yay, number goes up. And when number goes up, you have your targets as to where you want to start taking profit or where you want to start selling. So then the goal of a moon bag is to completely remove your initial investment and remove some profit. And whatever you have left over, you own free and clear. Why do we do that? The reason why we do that, crypto markets are super volatile. And just in case you invest into something and number happens to go down, you don't ever want to get caught holding the bag. You don't ever want to be the person that's down in the red because you refuse to take profit. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm in this for the tech, I'm in this for the long haul. And that's fine. You can be, but you need to understand the risk. You shouldn't just blindly invest in something and expect you're going to get this crazy gain coming from it. You're going to have to take profit. And then what you do with that profit, you can say, hey, I want to take my family out on a nice dinner. I want to go on vacation or pay my student loans off, whatever that is. Or you can take that money and then reinvest.
I love it. I love it. And I will just say it sounds really easy, but it is not. It
It's
is
hard.
really, really hard to do.
It's
It
hard
is
because
really hard to do.
yeah, it's hard because you want to like people want like get scared taking profit because of the emotional stuff. Um
Mhm.
and so it can get a little bit tricky there, but at the same time, I think it's something that you can practice and people can paper trade. You could paper trade and paper invest. So that basically means you don't use any of your capital. You just go ahead and, you're using like fake money or you're tracking a stock or a crypto and you do your trading and investing journal and you kind of plan it out. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to close it out there. And if you're capable of
Mhm.
doing that and doing a good job, then you might want to consider, actually putting money on a table.
Well, I'm still trying to practice, but I do love the moon bag strategy and I use it myself.
I
Well, Wendy, I
appreciate it.
just want to thank you for your time. Your invaluable wisdom has reached millions. Your kindness has helped others to it's clearly visible and you are so inspiring. You make me want to get up every day. So,
Oh,
but I have
thank
one
you.
surprise for you before you go, and this is our crypto game scholar, lab scholar, okay?
Hey,
And every interview has a game. They have 1 minute to answer as many questions as possible.
okay.
And
Uh-oh.
some some are easy. You're going to do great. Some are easy. Some are uh, abbreviations. If you do not know the answer, you just hit pass. We'll see how many you get.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let's do it. Uh-oh. I hate being put on the spot.
All right, you're going to do great. Ready and go. A digital or virtual currency secured by cryptography.
That's a cryptocurrency.
Yes. A group who works together towards a shared goal and abides by rules written in the project's self-executing computer code.
A crypto team. I don't a team. I don't know.
We'll pass. If the price of cryptocurrency has a positive price movement,
Ooh, that's a bullish.
yes. The password to your crypto holdings,
Seed phrase or private keys.
yes. A database with information on transactions in the blockchain,
Oh, a database with information. Is that no database? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I want to say a smart contract, but that makes things do things. So I'm going to have to pass.
we'll pass. KYC,
Know your consumer, know your customer.
the maximum amount of Bitcoin that can ever exist.
21 million.
Very good. I'm super
Woohoo!
impressed. So let's see. So you definitely had the most so far. I think, am I what, fifth interview? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll see for the month, and we will see. I will let you know if you will be the Crypto Lab Speed Scholar for the month.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, Wendy, thank you so much for talking with me and talking with the lab. We think the world of you and keep doing great things. We hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.